Nigeria's long-running debate over state policing has entered a critical phase. The presidency says the proposed state police executive bill will be presented to President Bola Tinubu for review on the 3rd of September, following weeks of technical work by the Presidential Working Group, chaired by the President's Chief of Staff, Femi Gbajabiamila. The draft legislation is expected to define the legal framework for state police, including issues of command structure, recruitment, funding, and operational responsibilities. The presidency has also invited Nigerians to contribute to the drafting process through public memoranda before the bill is transmitted to the National Assembly. Supporters believe state police could strengthen grassroots security and improve responses to local threats, while critics continue to raise concerns about funding, accountability, and the potential for political abuse.
Joining us now to examine whether Nigeria is finally ready for state policing and what safeguards are needed to ensure it enhances security is Principal Attorney at Advocare Populi Law Firm. Peter Ekavwo joins us. And also, we have the privilege of having a former Commissioner of Police for Lagos State, Mr. Fatai Owoseni, joins us live in the studio, not virtually. Not virtually.
Former Commissioner of Police for Lagos and Ogun State.
You need to ring the bell for them.
Benue State.
Benue State, yes.
How do you do that?
This is our antebellum, also known as bell of conscience. So,
Thank you.
You're welcome, gentlemen.
once we ring this bell, it means we're here to say the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So, help you. But anyway, thanks for joining us. Just let me quickly run through before we begin the conversation. Just a fortnight, the special advisor to the president, Mr. Bayo Onanuga, put out a statement, State House press release. He did say that federal government announced a 7-week roadmap for national policing bill, invites public input. He did mention, let me quickly see if I can run through and break it down. It says the working group is reviewing the Police Act 2020, the Police Service Commission framework, police regulations, and other relevant laws to support the development of an effective modern policing system. He said the roadmap would actually start from July 27, so it's on, and it will end September 14, 2026. The working group has adopted a 7-week program running from that period of time. This roadmap will involve citizens, professionals, civil society, security agencies, state and local governments, academics, also other stakeholders to contribute, submit, and review. It will all be integrated into the drafted bill. So what is simply being said is that it's not just going to be the lawmakers, they're now inviting you watching us as well, and the gentlemen in the studio. So let's go straight into the question. Let me start off first with, former Commissioner, I know we've asked you this question before, how you felt about the police bill, you shared your thoughts. Has it changed? Do you see relevance now? Do you see why it's important with this update?
Okay. I've always been consistent. It's an idea which time has come. We're already here. It is not about whether anyone feels good or someone feels bad. It is the time. They've set the process in motion, and we hope it will benefit Nigerians. That is the comment I will just make.
But just to follow up, because, and I would like to use the coastal road analogy. There's a school of thought that feels, the coastal road is not relevant at this point, and that we should deal with existing roads and fix them. And there's a school of thought that feels the federal policing structure as it is faulty. And why not rejig it, implement several reports that have been done on police reforms before starting a new one? Is that where you fall? What side of the divide are you in?
Sometimes it doesn't matter in this country whether you have a school of thought or not. Once government is ready to do something, they'll go ahead and do it. Whether your school of thought is against it 1,000 times or 1,000,000 times. So government will do what they need to do. Some of the concerns that few of us that have served have will still be there. But I just hope that now that they are asking for input from the public, hoping that those inputs will be factored into what they want to give to Nigerians. We feel that some of those things will be addressed. Because where my own point and where some of us are coming from is that where you don't have institutional memory, where you don't factor what you want to do to historical happenings, how did we get there? The factors that made us to get to where we are, have those factors been addressed? And people have also, that school of thought, like I said, yes, I said it won't matter. Here's a federal structure. There are different types of federalism. You know, a federalism that is put together by centripetal force, and the one that is put together by centrifugal force. And we always like to do comparisons. The places we want to copy, what kind of federalism do they operate? So these are the concerns. And there are some people, I for one feel, oh, does it matter who controls the police? It's the wherewithal that you provide for the police to perform. Is the police actually, because sometimes it's annoying. And I personally always feel bad when Nigerians and the people that are ruling us will come and say, because the Nigeria police has failed. What has made Nigeria police fail? I would not agree that Nigeria police has failed. Something make it to fail. If it was good before, what has made it to fail? Have we addressed those things that have made it to fail? So if you say Nigeria police has failed, we have all failed. The police represent the community. The police reflects the government. So if the police has failed, the government has failed. So for you to come and say that Nigeria police has failed, I would disagree with you. It's annoying. And I think it's also a disservice and, you know, an embarrassment to some of us that have served to say, oh, it's because of the failure of the Nigeria police of the present system. No, I disagree with that. They do give them what it takes to perform. So we are in there. It is what it is. The president has taken a very bold step. We are more or less decentralizing Nigeria. Some of those things that had been very, very difficult to do. This president has come to say, okay, let us do devolution. They started with the electricity thing, the correctional whatever bill. So we are going to the Nigerian police. But I believe that the people that have been put together will be able to solve it, because we keep on using police. Is police just the Nigerian police that we have now? Because every institution that performs law enforcement duties, that will include civil defense, it will include immigration, everyone that performs law enforcement as per definition in the international standard, in the international, within the international norms, the United Nations norms, is that once you perform law enforcement duty, you are doing policing work. So if you keep on saying police, and you are just bringing out what we have now as the Nigeria police as the police, and you feel once you tamper with that, others will remain. What of the other ones that are performing policing duties? Those are the concerns, and it is what it is.
Okay, I want us to bring Peter into the conversation, and I'm going to make a quote that the former speaker of the... okay, I can't find it now, this link just closed, but he did say something about how state police cannot mean 36 state militias. He said that no individual, no public personnel should be able to control the state police. So we know that we still need the 36 states of state houses of assembly to approve of this. What happens where, or first of all, how realistic is it that all the 36 states houses of assembly will buy in? And what happens where some of the states opt out?
Okay, thank you for having me. I would think that under the principles of federalism, the states are somewhat independent if we practice true federalism. And so what I think should happen, in my view, is that we should have a situation where we are not coercing this, the federal government should not coerce any state to adopt it immediately. They could do it as much as you have the capacity. So I believe this framework is to give that leverage to enable the state houses of assembly enact their own laws, to establish their own police, reflecting their internal dynamics. Because I believe every state has its own challenges, security issues, and all that. So I believe it should not be a matter of, because even we are going to talk about the issues of funding, for example,
yes.
And I believe all states do not have the same financial muscle. Exactly. So are we going to, because if we don't deal with that issue as we go along, as plausible as it looks as the issue of state police, if we don't deal with the issue of funding, for example, what is going to happen? Are we going to have policemen who are not well cared for, well kitted, well trained? Which are some of the issues that have led to what the former CP said, people say that the police are failed. So some of those issues have to do with the issue of funding, issue of kit, issue of training.
And they will still be there.
You understand? So are we ready? So I believe not all states
have the same capacity.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
And unless you have that capacity, I believe you should not even, no state should try it if you don't have the
capacity.
I mean, some states do. If you look at the risk assessment, a state like Cross River, for example, or Akwa Ibom, they're not dealing with a lot of security challenges. Does it mean they will have to establish their own state policing department?
I don't know. I don't want to think there's any state that will not deal with a security challenge. I believe every state.
Not at the scale of, I mean, other states.
Plateau, not at the scale of Plateau State or...
Yes, I would believe that one of the duties of the police is also to prevent
such
a crime. So even if all they do is to prevent crime, gather intelligence, and help, I believe states that have the capacity should do so. Although I have my concerns.
Which are?
Yes, so my concern is the conversation about providing safeguards has always been about politicians. So the narrative that you hear is we don't want a situation whereby the governor will not use it against political opponents. Nobody's talking about human rights abuses. This is an issue that angers Nigerians. This is an issue that makes Nigeria angry with the current police that we have. There's so much human rights violation that is going on, and we all know it. Illegal detention, torture, collecting money for bail, which I would like to call official kidnapping. Because if, for example, you arrest someone, you detain the person, and you say, unless you give me money, I will not release you. That is ransom. Those are the type of things that Nigerians are dealing with. And some of them, you can also link it to lack of training, lack of, they are not well cared for, some of them. And then this is what we see. So the conversation, I've not heard it, and it's annoying me. I've not heard it that, what are the safeguards we are putting to ensure that people do not detain? Are we going to proliferate the system that we have? Are we going to have, for example, if I'm traveling from here to Delta State and I have 20 checkpoints that some of them are extorting money from the civil pope, are we going to have proliferation at those days would have 20? Is that what are we doing? So I believe we should take this to the Nigerian people need to benefit. Not all of us are politicians.
So okay. let's ask a former police commissioner.
Let me latch on that first.
Yes.
Even with regards to control, I've always talked about institutional memory. How did we get here? The preamble to the constitution of what they called the Minority Commission on Police in 1957, when the different regions took their consent, before the government as to control of the police. The preamble to that willing commission constitution is that no police force in Nigeria should, so far as its use and operational control were concerned, at any time come under the control of political parties. And hence, the need to strictly safeguarded by special constitutional provisions. That was what informed the 1957 Willing Commission, which they called Minority Commission, that gave birth to what we have as Police Council, which we have made to be moribund. It's the same thing that gave birth to the Police Service Commission. And of course, we've been wobbling and fumbling all along without making some of those bodies to work properly. Before I will now go to like what he said, bills and whatever. Let me tell you, and I want to be sincere here, it's not about defending my constituency. The police will reflect the society. When you talk of bail itself, as I sit down here, I served in the Nigeria police for 35 years, in and out of the country. My experience, I'm talking of practical experiences, that even before those guys ask, you're already bringing money out of your pocket. Oga, thank you. If you don't take, some of us, they say that man is a wicked man. Even when he releases my person on bail, he refuses to take money. He's coming back to come and arrest him. They see you as wicked. What is abnormal? It is what we have taken to be normal
it's a reflection
in this
of
country. It's a
society.
reflection of the society. Your police cannot be better than you. No, it is not possible. If you look at Nigeria, the way Nigeria is set up, we are so used to that, such that once you want to do the right thing, they will interpret you to be a wicked person. And part of the concern also is that, look at the foundation of the present police we have. It was an oppressive foundation by the colonialists. So if you've not looked at that foundation to say that the Nigeria police that is begotten to us, that is given to us, has that faulty foundation, and you are putting another thing on top of it without resolving that. The police in the US, the police in the UK weren't funded that way. The father of the police, as they call, Robert Pell, says your police is you. The people are the police are the people. That was their foundation there. It wasn't our foundation here.
I mean, we
did not.
We even had the Glover houses.
Yes, we did not subscribe to the Robert Pell philosophy of policing when we started police. So these are things we've not addressed. I believe that.
I want you to address what Peter raised about safeguards. And, typical herd mentality, we follow, everybody raises, they point fingers at the governors, or they might abuse it. But he did, the personnel, as a former professional police officer, how long will it take to typically train a policeman? I'm talking of the non-commissioned officers, the other ranks in the police, I don't know what they call them, to make them effective and professional at that basic level. Because we've seen abuses in offshoots of state policing, Ebubeagu, and also Amotekun, shaving the heads of people, getting into business that it's not theirs.
How long will it take to make Nigerians to conform with basic principles of civilized living? You will start from that. No matter the training you give to the police, if your people don't change, there will not be any change. That I want you to know. And let us face the fact. Not because I was a policeman, but I feel unhappy. Everything is hip on the police. The police probably have some of the best human beings, I want to tell you that. In this country today, I don't see any single institution that have the number of graduates that the Nigeria police has, including those rank and files that you see on the road. I don't see any institution in this country that has the number of lawyers, qualified lawyers, that Nigeria police has. So what are we talking about? It is about the people. If you are changing the police, you are not changing the people. We would just be coming to square zero. My brother here is a legal practitioner, is a lawyer. A situation where lawyers want to write petition for you, have come to you as a friend to say, oh, my brother, I'm broke, I want to set up business. Can you advance me a loan of 100,000 naira? And maybe after taking your money, you see me doing well, I've not refunded your money. And you come to me and I say that, oh boy, I'm just stabilizing. And you go and meet a lawyer will tell you to say, the only way you can deal with Fatai is I'll make a petition. They will criminalize a civil thing. That's the petition they will write. So where does the police come in here now? You will put elements of criminality into what is ordinarily supposed to be civil. So in the course of doing that, if you are that upright policeman and you now say, look, it's just a transaction between the two of you, you were friends and whatever, the next thing the lawyer will say that, the police want to turn a complainant to an accused person. It is about us. In all those countries where things are good, it is the institution. We must be able to, develop and advance the cause of our institutions. We keep on saying it. Yes, police have problems. Which institution in this country don't have problems? Such that go to all the level of whatever, judiciary, whatever. So what are we talking about?
All of this,
yes.
And because I agree with you that the police is a reflection of society, and I also agree with you that there's no institution that doesn't have its challenges. He's a lawyer, and we understand that even in the legal profession there are complaints. But if I may respectfully push back on something you said that the police cannot be better than their society, and I don't know that I completely agree with that, because the judiciary can argue the same. We have every other day we are complaining about the conflicting judgments. We are complaining about the quality of, the judicial processes and how slow they are. Some have argued that there is some form of selective justice and have blamed the judges. ICPC recently uncovered 908 ghost workers within the Nigerian police. So if we're saying that citizens are the ones offering, for example, if I'm going by the example you gave, citizens are offering the bribe and making the police look bad, I would believe that the police is called to a higher standard, just like the legal practitioners, the lawyers, the judges are called to a higher standard to be able to set the course. When someone offers you the bribe, you arrest them, you take them into custody. By the time it happens once, twice, we've set a standard for how the citizens know that, this person, this institution, they don't behave like this, we won't go there. So maybe the police should be held to a higher standard. The same way that the legal professionals should be held to a higher standard of upholding law and morality in the society. Don't you agree, sir?
I would disagree with you. I will continue to say it. Your police will reflect you. Once you point an accusing finger on the police is from the society. And all those institutions you are mentioning, if you put all of them together, their number is not up to that of the police. It's because you see a policeman every day on the road. Some other institutions do worse things than the police, but because they are not just on the road. So that is why the police represents the government. The police is the face of the government. And that is why some of us are saying that if you want police to be good, they are apart from being your gatekeepers, if you fly into this country, if your police is dressing like a thug, it reflects the government. So the government must take deliberate action, to see what they can do about that. I keep on saying it. Yes, we are not God. We are not Jesus Christ or Holy Prophet Muhammad. But some of the things I've seen some of the things I saw while in the police, honestly, it takes the grace of God for you to stand out. And when you stand out, you are labeled as wicked. While I was there as Commissioner of Police in Lagos State, some people will say, that man is too tough, is too this, just because you want things to be done properly. So what reigns in the country is a country that celebrates absurdity, is a country that celebrates abnormalities. When you do the normal thing, people take you to be a madman. They even say it's a madman. Even some of the policemen that worked with us, they will say, that's Oga, run away from him if you see him, just because you want to do the right thing. So because of the large number of the police, and unfortunately for the police, is an institution. It's about the only institution. I'm not exaggerating, that has no voice. What do I mean by they have no voice? A lot of oppression is going on in there, poorly paid, in retirement. You look at policemen that you use all their youthful years.
Isn't
to
the
serve
Police
this
Service
country.
Commission their voice?
Eh?
The Police Service Commission?
No, sir. Nobody is a voice. The people that would have been the voice for the police are the governors, the police council members. I, as a policeman, if all of us, me and you, the three of us now, we are policemen, if we are not paid our salary for 3 months, I cannot say yourself, myself, and yourself, we are coming out to say we've not been paid salary. That is mutiny. I can only talk for myself. So an average policeman dies in silence. And that is why the people that are on the road of Abuja today protesting over pension. That is why sometimes, yes, I've been involved with them, talking to them to say this is not the way to go about it. But these guys are saying, you took our voice while in service. You cannot take our voice while out of service. The police still remain the most oppressed people in this country. I don't see any body of people that is as oppressed as the police.
Okay. We've looked at the intricacies, the challenges the police, face. I want us to come back to the bill. So let's analyze the bill now. Sadly, we don't have the bill in front of us.
I have
but
the
I'm
bill.
sure you have it. I was going to say that. So would like you to please maybe share some of the highlights that the bill hopes to conquer and improve the police force. After which our lawyer here, and of course, assistant lawyer who is practicing journalism now, we want to look at the intricacies in terms of how the law will help the police force to be better. But you've glanced through that bill. What are the 5 things, let's pick 5, that you think will make the police force look like the actual police force that Nigeria
That is
deserves?
fit for purpose.
I'm sure my brother too must have seen the bill as a lawyer. The basic things that I've seen in the bill is, names, changing names. Like, look at the provision that has to do, because it started with that, from section 30-something, those sections that had to do with fundamental human rights, where provisions are made to say, oh, on this, the Nigeria police will do this, or change the word from the Nigeria police to police. In some places where certain bodies were established, change the name from the the Nigeria Police Council to National Police Council, change the name from of the Police Service Commission to National Police Service Commission, State Police Service Commission. So those are the basic things that are there to act as safeguards. But as it is now, it's a framework that they want to do. The committee has asked that Nigerians should, contribute into it. I know a whole lot of input will be put. It's just, I don't know how much time they will have to articulate, to compile those things. And whichever way, if we don't start, you won't probably know whether a mistake has been made. Let's start first. It is what it is. I will keep on saying that. So when we start, it will just be an ongoing thing. Okay. And of course, this is when we will now know, okay, which state has capacity. I can bet you, not all the states will start at the same time. Some states are ready with their own nucleus of what can be whatever. Look at what President Tinubu has done. Honestly, you probably want to give it to the president. We've been talking of devolution. We want to decentralize. They started with the electricity thing. How many states in this country has been able to leverage on that provision? Then the correctional, act, where they say, okay, states can now even establish their own. How many states in this country? Look at the local government autonomy thing. How many states has been done? This is where we know who has the capacity, who doesn't have the capacity. Once they put the framework, I hope that they will put safeguards and everything. We would see how states will be able to leverage on that and, start having their own. But I can bet you it is an ongoing process. In another 2-3 years, some states will not be able to form their something. And we now go back to it to say, maybe all of you are agitating before. Some of the present sitting governors, by the time they leave office in 2027, some of them that have canvassed for state police will come and sing another tune. Because when that bill was passed, that was when people were saying, oh, they are too much in a hurry. Don't do it before election. And the president is saying, no, I'm ready to.
That's the biggest question I think from every Nigerian. Why the rush? Why the rush?
But as of the time we've not done it, we are asking for it. Now they've put it up. We are saying, why the rush? So that is to show that Nigeria is a complex country.
Okay.
And it's difficult to satisfy us.
All right, let's bring Peter into the conversation. But just before, I bring Peter in, I must mention that there is a website if you need to understand more about the state policing bill and you want to contribute. It sort of breaks it down for you. It is nationalpolicingbill.com. I'll take that again, nationalpolicingbill.com. When you open the website, you can see Understanding Nigeria's Policing Reform, what the National Policing Bill means for Nigeria. It's a plain language guide to the reform, what is changing, how it becomes law, and the 17 themes open for public input. Now let's talk about the part that says open for public input. The public has been invited. How much influence does the public really wield in being able to determine what changes are implemented in this bill?
So public input is part of the legislative process. It's a normal thing. When you want to enact a bill, for example, after the second reading, you take it for public hearing, and so that gives opportunity to Nigerians to bring in their input. So it's a normal thing. It's not the only issue is whether the president, the National Assembly, rates Nigerians enough to be able to accept the input that Nigerians are going to bring, or is it just a charade? Is it just to say, let us just do it? Because a bill such as unbundling the police and giving state powers to start is not something that we should rush. Because the police is a very important institution of state. People that have the power to carry gun, people that have the power to detain people. So we cannot rush that. We cannot do it as the national anthem be. The eyes here is back. We cannot, we should not. Why are we rushing to? Yes, we understand. We need, because of the security challenges that we face, one of the advantages of this police, the state police, will be that we'll have more manpower, and then we'll recruit people from within the states who perhaps are better, they understand the environment better. Yes. Okay, so the input is a good thing. We commend them for doing this, but we pray and ask them.
But they are not mandated to take.
So even when you say understand the environment better,
yes,
it's one of the areas I've disagreed with people. Because I listened to the Deputy Speaker when he said it's our home people that will now be policing us. What are they talking about? If I stand to be challenged, go to most of the states. Some of the policemen that are working there, in Ibadan, where I come from, some of them have become ballet there. They may not be from Ibadan. He has been working in Ibadan for the past 10, 15 years. And you are saying he doesn't understand the environment. What are we talking about? It is not about understanding the environment. Mm-hmm. We have experimented it. Go back to your state. That they asked certain rank up to Deputy Superintendent of Police to go back to their state. They were sent back to their state. They fought to go back out of their state. So the premises upon which all these things have been based. And when you also talk of public hearing, I believe that Mr. President meant well for Nigeria. I believe that the committee also meant well. But you expressed a concern, which I will also express. I've attended 1 or 2 public hearings at the National Assembly. May God help us in this country. Because some of the public hearings, when people already have their mindset, sometimes without prejudice, they've already finished the bill they want to.
That's a concern.
So it's just to say, let us fulfill righteousness. So sometimes, I'm sorry, I'm not, but it's a concern. And like you said, the police is such an institution. There are 3 institutions that keep a democracy. You have the judiciary, the military, and the police. And the police is one of the most important one, because without the police, others will not work. The military is supposed to come out when there is war. It's the police that is there on a daily basis. And when you are dealing with such an important institution, you have to be very careful. You said powers of detention, even powers of life and death. A constable, the power he has in his hand, or a corporal carrying a gun, is such enormous. And that is why we have to be very careful. We need state police. I have always said, not just state police. We need a whole society policing arrangement. We would mouth the United States of America. What United States has is not state police. United States of America has well over 2,000 agencies for law enforcement. So what we need is proper grassroots policing, proper grassroots security, a whole society approach to security, a whole society approach to policing. That is to say that you cascade the thing. And we already have something similar. Almost all the states have what they call, okay, Lagos has LASTMA. In Oyo State, we have what we call OITMA, Oyo State Road Transport, Road Traffic Management Agency. They are doing police work. So some of these people do this quasi-police work. So it's not
Lagos
new.
Neighborhood Watch.
Yes, we just, Neighborhood Watch has been operating since when I was there. It was when I was there that we started Neighborhood Watch. I submitted input to the State House of Assembly. They've been doing their work fine. So what we need is proper grassroots. And some of those things for people that we submit opinion is even when you start recruitment, we are not United States of America where residency comes in. So how do you recruit? Are you going to recruit as per residency or as per indigence?
So many things.
I have cited examples with Amotekun that in some places, that is why, say in Oyo State now, the Hausa community in Sabo, in Ibadan, will probably tell you that they don't have so much confidence because they will tell you that it's only our home people, Oyo State people, that are recruited into the place. And if you carry Amotekun to Sabo, and I keep on saying it, I'm not trying to disparage anybody. I'm from Ibadan. I was born in Ibadan. I don't know the nooks and crannies of Sabo like some people that were born in there. And you are not putting them in the security and policing structure of that area. So what do you call grassroots policing? What do you call community
They're
policing?
excluded.
Yeah.
We have a lot of work to do. Is going to, once, even after submitting whatever, after the presidential review, after it must have gone through all the states. And we are also talking of a period where I think as from this month, campaign will start.
Exactly.
So the only serious thing that is going to happen in Nigeria now is campaign.
So our attention might be divided. But before we...
The working group,
Yeah.
sorry, please. The working group itself, some of the criticism from the beginning of the working group was even the chair of the presidential working group, the person of Femi Gbajabiamila. Whilst we reckon that there is Section 36 sub 5 that guarantees presumption of innocence, we can't also take away from the fact that there have been accusations leveled against him. And there were those who said, if these accusations, as in if the presidency considers the weight of these accusations, we're not saying that he's guilty, let him not be given fresh responsibilities pending the conclusion of investigation. As a lawyer, in the interest of fairness, those who argue or put forth these arguments, is there weight to this?
I do not think so. I do not think there's weight in that type of argument, in my opinion. What we're dealing with is a different thing. We're talking of reforming an institution. So it has nothing to do with...
reforming an institution, and the argument is that this person has been pointed fingers at in a corruption scandal.
You started very well by saying there's a presumption of innocence.
Yes.
So at this point, we cannot, pronounce him guilty. That can no longer... We have not removed him. The president has not removed the chief of staff. So he continues to function. And in fact, what he's doing now is not a constitutional function. It is at the prerogative of the president to say, help me coordinate this, and that's what he's doing. Having said that, I want to... The CP retired was painting a picture of something like helplessness. Like, we will say nothing will happen and all that, and obviously from his experience, having attended some of these things. But what I want to call on Nigerians this morning is that we must not abandon our country to only the elected officials. We cannot do that. Now, the CP started again and gave us a historical context that the police that we have is the one that was bequeathed to us by the colonial masters. And that's correct. And that's why we see the fault, everything, the way they do their things. Perhaps this is the time, this is an opportunity for us to have a Nigerian police. And the way to do that is that Nigerians should be concerned. We should not keep quiet and say, there's nothing we can do. No, we must come take opportunity. If possible, we submit a memoranda. If possible, peaceful protest if need be. For example, because I'm also concerned, for example, this bill, are they talking about training? Who is going to train the state police? The state police, who is going to train them? Is it the Nigerian police, which most Nigerians feel have not done well or have not done enough? I say this not to discourage the good police officers who are doing their best for society. We salute them, we encourage, we honor you. However, there are so many unscrupulous ones amongst their midst, and the system has not been able to deal with them. So my worry again is that who is going to train them? Is it set of people going to train these people? Nemo that quote not have, but you can't give what you don't have. So I'm saying, and I'm employing this money, that bill should talk about training. Who? Which agency?
I'm sure
You see that
and it should also talk about funding. Funding. Where's the funding going to come from to fund these people? It should talk about roadblocks.
Okay.
Is the police one about standing on the road and saying, show me your paper, show me your paper? Is that I mean,
my brother,
how long are we going to continue like
this training you are talking of, sadly, I can tell you how much money is provided for police for training. The highest police institution in this country is the Police Staff College. And I think it was built around 19 whatever self. And it was American government that gave us the money. Up to now, it's still at the first phase, such that even some of the adjoining lands that belong to the police have been hijacked by some people. So if you don't provide, when you want to train, as of the time I was going to join the police, they say, oh, the best cadets amongst us will be sent to Wakefield to go for further training. And we finished. Yes, government said they are broke. They are not sending you to Wakefield again. We had all these facilities. The police college, Ikeja, had trained people from Rwanda, from all over Africa. But it's a ghost of itself as of today. So if the government don't make those facilities, the funds are available.
It's not the fault of the
police.
police.
Yes, it's not the fault. Everybody will say, Shebi, oh, they are funding the police. What of police budget? Go and look at police budget. You would be surprised. And that is why sometimes I do ask questions.
And the police they buy their uniform as well, right?
Mr. Owoseni, just before we begin to wrap up this conversation, there's also concerns about interagency rivalry. And now you have state policing, because what's going to happen to jurisdiction, and how do you prevent inter-policing rivalry? Because the typical Nigerian police force and then the state policing, you might have competing orders, who can detain, what facilities do you detain in, are you going to build new barracks for the state policing, what happens to cross, will there be cooperation across different states and jurisdictions? These are some of the concerns of Nigerians.
You see, once the framework...
and promotion also.
Once the framework is established properly, there shouldn't be a jurisdictional problem. But whether you like it or not, it's the same government that caused problem. Look at the present system we have, proliferation of security agencies. You are saying the police is not good. You went up to set up
NSCDC, forest guards.
Some people say Peace Corps or whatever. You take a fraction, starting from even the EFCC, the ICPC, the NDLA. These were jobs combined by the police. As of the time the police was doing it, you don't fund. So you take an infinitesimal unit out, and you now fund it more than the father. So what you are budgeting for those small bodies is more than what you budget for the Nigeria police. And of course, mind you, the government is as to their advantage. Because some people have said, oh, it's because somebody was a president and he wants to tell someone who is from his place, or because he feels that he cannot oppress the police. He feels that the IG may be too difficult. That is why they set up a certain body. So once it's convenient for government to say, look, this is like when I was there, we know the rules as to giving holidays to people who are entitled. So some people will come to you, and if I say, look, you are not entitled as per extant rules and regulations, the next thing is that it goes to civil defense, which probably doesn't have, that authority. If he's not carrying civil defense, he will carry Boys Brigade and Boy Scouts, because everybody in Nigeria, an aberration, thinks uniform is an object of oppression. If my brother win election now as chairman of the local government, the first thing he will request for is he wants somebody to be. They now see human being as chattels.
So sad.
Standing behind them, such that someone will want to read an address. You have a whole human being carrying paper, following you, or someone carrying bags for. That doesn't make any sense. You have reduced your police, and these guys don't have, authority by law. They cannot challenge it on their own. If you challenge it, you are dismissed. I have faced situations where I told people, look, as per whatever you are elected to, you are not entitled to this. Before you know it, they will run to the president. That commissioner is wicked, or they will go to the governor. That commissioner is wicked. So you now go outside at public function. You find out that it's already having another uniform person behind them carrying guns, such that when you get to public function, you will see guns facing guns. This one is, my principal is higher than your own. Where do they do that? Heck.
So
even when the Prime Minister of Britain is moving around, you don't see guns.
Let's go on a break.
Let's go on a quick break. We'll come back and then we'll wrap things up. Please stay with us. Welcome back to Breakfast Central. We're still speaking about the National Policing Bill that, of course, is being discussed. I just want to quickly highlight the themes. Our guests are still in the studio. It's going to be looking at 17 themes, and the themes span across: 1, constitutional status, powers, and institutional design of the National Police Council and Authority; national minimum policing standards; 2, 3, state readiness, certification, and forms of certification; 4, inspection, compliance, monitoring, and enforcement; 5, federal and state policing architecture and cooperation; 6, federal police transition and Police Act restructuring; 7, Police Service Commission architecture; 8, state police service establishment and model state law; 9, rank equivalence, personnel transition and scheme of service; 10, operational powers, criminal justice interface, and data/forensic systems. If you'd like to find out what the remaining
that last
themes
one
are.
is the interest of
I mean, there's even the use of force, firearms, equipment, and public identification. Theme 11. So there are many themes that will be explored. Visit www.nationalpolicingbill.com if you'd like to find out more details about this, and if you'd like to submit a memorandum. Before we went on break, Benga, you wanted to ask a question.
Yes, Mr. Owoseni, but the Nigerian police does have a special protection unit for VIPs and private individuals. So I guess it's part of their work too, to provide some level of protection to VIPs.
Who are VIPs? Is it you that you have contested election now, that your fathers, your mothers, your brothers and sisters say you should go and contest? That is when you are doing your campaign. No? Immediately you get to the office, there are no more your brothers and sisters. You are going back to the village. It's mobile policemen and soldiers that will follow you to still go and be harassing those your mothers and fathers that said you should come and contest. Does it make any sense? So how do you define VIPs? I don't know. I'm actually at a loss with regards to that. And we have extant rules and regulation laws as to who is entitled by virtue of the work they are doing. But now, you are probably a senator or a minister. And of course, even under the extant laws, it's not everybody, even those people that we are talking of, that are entitled. But as you are having, your special advisor want to have one, the PA to your special advisor want to have one, their madams want to have one, that will go with them to the market.
It's almost like a social status.
That is it. And that is
but
why
looking
I said
at the
they use them
myriad...
as chattel. You see, you will say, I need this person to protect myself because of the work I'm doing. Are you not the one that said you want to do the work? That is number one. Then number two, if you need him for security, the guy is carrying a rifle, is carrying the briefcase of your money. So if there is an attack, is it your briefcase of money that he should first defend, or yourself? Because when you look at those things, sometimes it doesn't make sense to me.
Now, before we wrap up this conversation, we have a myriad, I mean, just from our discussion this morning on the show, we can see you were barely scratching the surface, a myriad of problems. And we won't be doing ourselves justice if we're just focusing on the problems. At what point do we begin to change our mindset as a people? I'm sure you've seen the Agbero menace, the street urchins, which have become a problem in Lagos. Where do we begin to reset society so that the police can truly reflect the people? And is there hope, really?
There is hope. You, myself, my sister here, all of us, get involved. Get involved in governance. Don't come and tell me, if you continue to run away for it and say politics is dirty, you will continue to have charlatans, hoodlums, making laws for us. And whether we like it or not, we must comply. Go and check out of the people that make laws for us or that are governing us, from what background, what were they doing before? Do they have a second address? And that is why they want to perpetuate themselves in that system. So if we don't start now, our children will suffer it now. We must all get involved. Don't let us run away for it. Some of our young people have been involved in student, campus politics and whatever. But when they get out of universities, they will now come and say politics is dirty. If this is my brother now, if I say, oh yeah, go back to the village, go and contest for chairman or State House of Assembly, he will say, they will kill me.
I did
yes.
for form.
So if we don't put our mouth there, how will the money also reduce? Then our people must also learn to say that if you are doing, you want to vote because of a mudu of Gary, we'll continue to be oppressed. We must face the reality. It has been monetized. Poverty has been weaponized. Even politics has been weaponized. Election, the whole democratic system. And sometimes you would think that we've redefined what democracy is in Nigeria, because it's not as per what we are talking. Voters' apathy. If you have a population of, say, 5 million, and they say the governor that is governing in a population of 5 million only one election with 500,000 votes, is that a true representation? Because people are disenchanted. So we must get involved. If we all get involved and we keep on talking, we won't stop talking. It's an ongoing process. Even this state police thing, it's not going to be perfect at once. It's an ongoing process. Okay. At the end of the day, all of us will be all right.
Okay. Thank you so much, CP, for sharing your thoughts and insights with us on this new National Police Bill. Final words from you, Peter. Do you now agree that they should just go ahead and start? Since as we move, the journey is 1,000 miles. We'll keep making adjustments.
It's a work in progress.
Or do you still feel that why the rush? Let's calm down. Because this road map, this road show is just 2 weeks. So the people who are not available, who might spot any lapses or indicate some serious concerns, are they able to effect the changes under 2 weeks? These are the questions. What do you think?
Even the changes are advisory.
What do you think?
So I reiterate my position that we should not rush this type of an all-important legislation.
Haven't we crossed that bridge already?
No, we have not.
I'm asking him again with what we've discussed.
We should not rush it. Okay, then number two, let me take advantage of this opportunity to give my own memorandum.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
One of it is that, number one, the state police bill should make provisions for funding. Are we going to have a special fund where the budget of the state, the money is deducted as source for state police? Number two, recruitment. Who are the people that are going to be recruited into the police force? Is it going to be a matter of political patronage? I recommend seriously that all the names of the applicants should be published for citizens to make impute. If I know this man is a thief, he's a criminal, why do you want to recruit him? I should come with evidence. And such people should not be recruited to the police. Thirdly, is that we should have policing the police. The Nigerian people, the state people should have opportunity under the bill to police the police. What does that mean? That means that we should be able to say, this police officer continues to violate the rights of Nigerians. He's abusing his office, abusing everything, detaining people illegally, collecting ransom from people. I've caught it before. When you arrest people and you say, unless you give me money, I cannot release you. That is ransom, like kidnapping. And if you have people like that, the laws should be such that I can approach the court under my fundamental right procedure, approach the court. And if there are, for example, maybe twice situation of cases of abuse, the judge should have powers to be able to order dismissal of such people. I am saying that the bill, the police structure that is being worked at is plausible, is good, but we cannot rush it. We should take a little time and iron out all the issues and all the concerns on that. Do you know? All you need to do is conduct a poll amongst Nigerians, their experience of the Nigerian police. And when we say Nigerian police, I don't know what the CP retired to think that we're attacking the police. We're attacking the government. The police is not a separate institution. We are holding the government accountable that it has not provided a police that can, that is responsive to the needs of Nigeria. He has provided a police that themselves, most of the rank and file, are victims of lack of proper funding, lack of proper kitting, lack of proper, and so themselves are traumatized. You go to the police station, no empathy. You are the complainer, they collect money from you before so many things are happening. So even the civil defense, I'm not talking of the official civil defense, I'm talking of the local. Do you know that those people even perform better than some of our police? You know why? Because they feel a sense of ownership. There's patriotism. It's my people. I want to guard my fathers and my mothers. Okay. So I seriously call that we should have, these 2 weeks is not enough. We should take some time and allow Nigerians to reflect. And
well, pending the conclusion of that, because we need to be out, it's www.nationalpolicingbill. You want to share your thoughts, head onto the website and drop your own thoughts.
And in the existing framework, if you have any complaints about the police, there's a police complaint response unit, PCRU, and they are very, they respond to complaints, send them, act on petitions and some issues. And so
let's start from somewhere.
Exactly.
It's an ongoing process. The president has done well. He has broken there. They wanted to do this thing a long time ago. So let's start from somewhere. It's going to be ongoing. Even in the UK or whatever, they keep on having this ongoing process. And of course, start from, do we really have a Nigeria police? Some of the things we've been arguing, if you look at the name itself, when people were arguing over take the force out of it, make it the Nigeria Police Service, whatever. Go and look at all the other institutions, the Nigerian Army, the Nigerian Navy, the Nigerian Air Force. So right from the colonial days, the police remained the Nigeria police. Okay. So which makes it not, it has not been domesticated. So there should be talking, the Nigerian police, Nigeria has not honed its police.
That's the foundation.
So those are the kind of things that
we want to be able to get to the point where we say police is your friend, and we really believe that police is our friend. But
the question
you don't have a choice, they are your friends.
Happy customer service week.
If you like, when you are being attacked, go and call a thug.
No,
rescue you.
It's our police. We must call for reforms.
The police people are good people. They can be better. They can be good.
They need to be better indeed.